أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. صدق الله العظيم.
On behalf of the Center for Afghanistan, Middle East and Africa at the Institute of Strategic Studies, I welcome you all to the screening of the Oscar-winning documentary, No Other Land, directed by Yovel Abraham, Basil Adra, Hamdan Bilal, and Rachel Soar. I am grateful to the Embassy of the State of Palestine for collaborating with us, and at the offset, let me express my immense gratitude to the Palestinian ambassador, Dr. Zahir Zaid, for joining us, as well as to our dear brother Nadir al-Turk for joining us. I'm also very grateful to have Mr. Jamal Shah, who is the former Minister for Culture and Heritage, for joining us, and of course Mr. Jawad Sharif, who is a filmmaker as well as a National Geographic explorer, for joining us. Thank you. Now, today's screening of No Other Land serves as a powerful moral awakening. Israel has persistently worked to erase Palestine from the political map, rendering the Palestinian struggle for justice a challenging one, as we continue to see even to date. For decades, Palestinians have endeavored to shed light on the oppression and violence inflicted upon them by Israel on a daily basis. Now, what makes this documentary particularly powerful is its joint direction by both Palestinians and Israelis, offering a rare and courageous lens into life under brutal occupation. The film does not simply chronicle suffering, rather it highlights the determination of the Palestinian people to stay on their land and preserve their way of life despite the difficult odds. Their resilience stands as a testament to their strength in the face of the relentless oppression opposed by them by the Israeli government. I think the documentary also urges us to recognize our shared duty as a part of humanity to support our sisters and brothers facing systematic injustice and unimaginable oppression, which is tantamount to both apartheid and genocide at the hands of Israel. Here, if you allow me, I would like to quote Yovel Abraham, one of the directors of the documentary, who said during his acceptance speech at the Oscars, and I quote, "When I look at Basil, I see my brother, but we are unequal. We live in a regime where I am free under civilian law. Basil is under military laws that destroys his life, and he cannot control. There is a different path, a political solution without ethnic supremacy, with national rights for both of our people. Can't you see that we are intertwined, that my people can't be truly safe if Basil's people are truly free and safe?" The ongoing genocide underscores the urgency of finding a peaceful and just resolution, which certainly lies in one solution, and that is the two-state solution that respects the rights and dignity of all individuals involved, particularly the Palestinian people. The people of Pakistan stand firmly with their Palestinian sisters and brothers, and this documentary, rather the screening of this documentary, is a small reflection of the unwavering support we have for the people of Palestine. So with these brief remarks, I will give the floor now to Ambassador Suhail Mahmood, Director General ISSI, for his welcome remarks. After the speeches are done, we will then hold the screening of the documentary. Thank you so much.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Excellencies, distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Let me begin by welcoming everyone to the Institute of Strategic Studies for the screening of the documentary film No Other Land. I extend my deepest gratitude to our distinguished guests, especially the Ambassador of the State of Palestine, His Excellency Dr. Zuhair Zaid, Mr. Jamal Shah, former Minister for Culture and Heritage, and Mr. Jawad Sharif, a filmmaker, for their presence and support. And I also acknowledge the presence of His Excellency Ambassador Carmon, as well as very distinguished colleagues from other diplomatic missions and from Pakistan. The 2nd of March 2025 was truly a historic day when this collaborative film by Palestinian and Israeli filmmakers Basil Adra, Yuval Abraham, Rachel Sor, and Hamadan Balal won the Oscar in the category of Best Documentary Feature 2025. Basil Adra was also the first ever Palestinian to win an Oscar. No Other Land was recorded between 2019 and 2023, and it shows the destruction of Palestinian community living in the Musafir Yatta region in the occupied West Bank. The very production of this film and its international acclaim are remarkable as they illustrate a broad spectrum, from the resilience of human spirit to a recognition of common humanity, to the crying need for fairness. Today's screening of No Other Land is more than just an experience. It is a call to conscience. It reminds us of the collective responsibility that we bear as members of the global community to amplify the voices of Palestinian people and to stand unwaveringly for justice and human dignity. The Palestinian people's struggle is not just about land. It is also about dignity, survival, and the right to live with dignity and freedom. What sets No Other Land apart is not just its subject matter, but its collective and collaborative nature. As noted, the film is co-directed by Palestinians and Israelis, providing a rare insight into the systematic oppression of living under occupation. Throughout the documentary, viewers witness Israeli forces demolishing homes and schools, displacing families, and creating a palpable environment of fear and uncertainty. The film moves beyond a mere portrayal of suffering, shedding light on the unbreakable resolve of the Palestinian people to remain on their land and to safeguard their way of life, no matter what the odds. The resilience of the Israeli people is unmatched in the face of the unremitting reign of terror unleashed by the Israeli authorities. It is, however, notable that at least some in Israel see the mindlessness of their government's actions and believe in an alternative way. As the Israeli director of the film, Yuval Abraham, said while accepting the Oscar, and I quote, "There is a different path, a political solution without ethnic supremacy, with national rights for both of our people," unquote. Distinguished participants, Israel's excessive and completely disproportionate response in Gaza since the 7th October 2023 attack continues to be marked by what has been described widely as a genocidal war and crimes against humanity. Despite the International Court of Justice's injunctions and condemnations worldwide, Israel continues with its senseless campaign against the Gazans and seeking to expand the circle of conflict to the broader region as well. Nonetheless, this atrocious situation has also served to put the Palestinian issue on the front and center of the international agenda. Further, it has sharply amplified the existing polarization. Worldwide protests and burgeoning support for Palestinian rights continue to capture both public and media attention. The divergent viewpoints of governments and public at large have been witnessed in the United States and Europe as a sharply noticeable trend. Israel, for its part, has tried hard to suppress media coverage and rely on massive propaganda. Observers are lamenting Israel's systematic attempts to stifle dissent both inside and outside, and even seek to eliminate the evidence of the atrocities being committed. While the valiant Palestinians have extensively documented the events since October 2023, thanks to the social media, the intellectual class everywhere is under scrutiny as to how they responded to the call of their conscience at this crucial juncture. The relentless Israeli military campaign in Gaza has worsened into a never-before-seen humanitarian catastrophe, wreaking havoc on the lives of Palestinians and their infrastructure. Since October 2023, a total of 50,933 Palestinians have been martyred, a vast majority of them children and women. 116,045 Palestinians have been wounded. The number of people killed in Israeli attacks on Gaza since Israel broke the ceasefire last month has now exceeded 1,560. With the supply of food and other assistance blocked, the humanitarian nightmare in Gaza continues. The government and people of Pakistan remain in strong solidarity with the Palestinians and in support of their right to self-determination. This documentary screening serves as a testament to our own commitment at the ISSI to continue to espouse this just cause and amplify the Palestinian voices. We hope the world opinion would help mold the policies of major powers as well. As I have persistently emphasized from this platform, there can be no peace in the Middle East without justice for the Palestinians. I thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will now request His Excellency Dr. Zohair Zaid, Ambassador of the State of Palestine, for his remarks. Ambassador, you have the floor.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, my thanks and gratitude for the institution that they had arranged this very important event thanks also for all of you here, with full respect to all the staff and the director of this institution. It's a great honor for me to stand in front of you and to say some words regarding the film and regarding what's going on in reality there in Palestine. Our sister Amina said something regarding the equality of law, that implementing one law, because one of the producer of the film is an Israeli who cooperate with a Palestinian. He said that the Israeli law is implementing on him and he has many rights and freedom. But on the Palestinians, there isn't one law that implemented. They are picking what is useful for them as occupation. So, Ottoman law is implemented. They will choose what will suit them, what will suit their goals, and they will implement. The colonial power, the British law, also implemented on us as a Palestinians. The Jordanian law in the West Bank and the Egyptian law in Gaza Strip, also they pick what will suit them, and they will implement on Palestinians. Add to all of those laws also the military law, which is the orders from the military commanders who acting in the Palestinian territory. So Palestinians is suffering a lot as a result of this, a very clear discrimination. Now, international organization, international human rights organizations, whatever they are saying, for instance, before 7th of October, they published their reports and they said that Israel is an apartheid. But from day one, from the beginning of the creation of Israel, Israel was more than apartheid. Today we are speaking about genocide. Genocide has already implemented from day one of the creation of Israel. Apartheid implemented from the day one of the creation of Israel. Starvation of people. Anyone who wants to study about history, he can go back and see regarding regarding the Palestinians who stay there under the Israelis, it means the borders of 1948. They were not allowed to move from their villages. They were not allowed to cultivate their lands, and still until now they're not allowing them to do. Some of them, they evacuate them for 2 weeks. A village where they lived in peaceful and harmony, Christian and Palestinians in the northern of Palestine lived together in that village, and still they are refugees in the next village. They see their houses, their churches, their mosques, their land, and they can't go back. Until now. What they are doing now in Gaza, they did also in 1948. And they did along all the history. So this is nothing new. What's going on And what the film will project, it's a new phenomena that I came back from Palestine just last Saturday. I was in the West Bank. I came a long way to reach the border to go through to Jordan. What I saw in my road, how many checkpoints, how many gates they already put in front of each village. You will see in the future, they will not allow us to go from village to another village without a permission like the Palestinians in 1948. All the sieges, all the fences that they are putting around their settlements, they can now put it around our villages. And we will be under siege. Each village will be under siege. This is what's going on. Through my road to Jericho, there was Bedouin, people whom depend upon growing cattle, depending on grassland and doing something like this. What they did, they removed them from their places. Not just, they confiscate their cattle. They took them. You will not find them. Instead of them, you will see Israeli pastoral, whom settlers with their weapons going around with the Palestinians' cattle whom they confiscate and took from them by force. Through this film, you will see how the Israeli forces coming and demolishing tents because they do not allow them to build their houses. And those tents have been donated by European Union, by our friends, whom we expect from them to do more what they are doing. Their level of intervention in the economic level, it should be also in the political level. It reached the level of their intervention in economic sphere. This is what we expect from them, and not to follow always the American side policies. This is what we expect from them. And they can do in this matter. Now, they are now not just confiscating land, but also demolishing houses, arresting, killing, preventing movement. If any woman in any village want to deliver, it need, from my village to Ramallah, it was just 15 minutes and can reach the middle of Ramallah. When I came back, I need more than 1 hour because there is checkpoints, there is gates. We should not move on the settlers' roads. They do not allow us to move on that roads, which is, they make it especially for them and cut our roads. We should go through streets that not really can be drive in because it's just soil or some stones in those roads. So in general, what you are going to see is the reality that we are facing along all our history. For us as a Palestinians, nothing new. Thanks for the social media that they contribute a lot by showing the world the reality, what's going really there in Palestine. We have a hope. We are like other people in the world. We want to live our life. We are not searching for violence or for war. We want to grow up our children to live their life. We do not want to bury them. We want them to bury us. This is what we want. We accept what the international community committed to itself to have peace and to give us 22% from the historical Palestine, and we accept. Now, where is the international community? Where is their commitment to the solution? Despite that, we believe that this solution also is not a just solution. We accept and we want peace. The issue is not us. And believe me, you will realize what I'm going to say. When I came to this country, I met number of the journalists. I asked them, please, we want just to recognize each other. I don't want cameras or to record or anything. We want to speak. I told them at that time, when the war will stop in Gaza for a period of time or permanently, register on me, the price will be paid in the West Bank. And this is what's going on now. They want to confiscate Area C. Area C is the most important and big area in the West Bank. In all levels. As a Palestinians, at the end, we want to have our state, we want our people to come back from their, to their homeland, to have their passport, to have their identity, to live their life. This is what we want. The Israelis, once again, they do not want, and you will see, they will continue to do whatever to chase us from the rest of our homeland and to control, or not just all Palestine, but to take parts from other Arab countries and to have the great Israel. This is what they are planning for. This is what they want. As the Palestinians and Arabs, we ask for peace. We launched initiative for peace. We are praying for peace. We are ready, we are accepting all the international law and all the United Nations decisions and resolutions and whatever. What they want from us more. What they want from us more. Why they are not accepting to give us, to have our own state. Because they have a belief to continue their war and to have a great Israel. This is the reality. If they do not want, the international community should intervene, should make a pressure to have. Without this, they will never give us this right and no way to see stability or security, not just in our region, in the whole world. Thank you.
I will now request Mr. Jawad Sharif to please come forward for his remarks.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much, ISSI and honorable guests. And thank you, His Highness Dr. Zuhair. Such a powerful speech. I mean, I am still feeling it. And what a powerful statement. Like, we don't want to bury our children. We want them to bury us. I mean, what is happening in Palestine, it is heartbreaking. Every day, we see a lot of visuals, images, videos, and it breaks our heart what is happening there. And we can't imagine what people are going through right now, even at this moment. I think we don't have words to express that pain anymore. And in a situation like this, the film No Other Land, I mean, so this film, it says like their voices matter. And how an independent filmmaking bring those true stories into the mainstream media. As a filmmaker, and specifically as a documentary filmmaker, when I have seen the film and I have gone through some of the sequences and some of the visuals, it has given me goosebumps. I knew it was not easy to film. I mean, you are staying there with a small camera and the whole world around you is crumbling. It's shattering. It's not easy. It's so difficult. It is so painful. But still, I mean, when we see this film, we witness what is happening. And this is like first-hand account. The story of Basil. I mean, you follow the story and you live with story, and it breaks you inside. When you just try to imagine yourself there, and you come to know, I would say not know, you eventually feel. So this is the good thing about filmmaking, you know. So because it has visual, it has sound, it has that environment, it has that feel. You feel what other person is going through. And it's just not a person. It's a human with dreams, with hope, and eventually with resistance. And I have seen film 2 times, and I am still every time it's a very difficult watch, and it reminds us like how important art is, how important storytelling is when it comes to resistance, because it's a truth you are bringing in forefront. You cannot manufacture that truth when it comes to the real lives, real subjects. And this is what it is. I hope and I pray these films and this art, it breaks our heart open. And it refuses us to forget these stories, these painful stories. And eventually, the most important thing is it forces us to feel. It forces us to relate. and it forces us to talk. Thank you.
I will now request Mr. Jamal Shah, former Federal Minister of Culture and Heritage, for his remarks.
Excellency Dr. Zuhair Zayed, Ambassador of State of Palestine to Pakistan, Ambassador Suhail Saab, Jawad Sharif, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Palestinians are ancient people and very, very proud custodians of ancient cultural heritage. Palestinians and the neighbors of Jewish faith have lived side by side peacefully for ages. It was in 1948 that the state of Israel was established by powers who had developed a platform called United Nations, and these powers had colonized the entire world before that. And these powers, some of them were in the habit of displacing people, like the original people of America from their own lands. They were very, very skillful in ethnic cleansing. When the state of Israel was established, Palestine was divided into Jewish and Arab states. This led to the Arab-Israeli war resulting in Israel's independence, but also the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. The incident or the tragedy is known as the Nakba, or catastrophe in Arabic. In 1964, Israel captured the Gaza Strip during 6 days war, and it remained under Israel military occupation until 2005. In 1993, Oslo Accord, and 1994 Gaza-Jericho Agreement aimed to establish a framework for peace and Palestinian self-governance in Gaza and the West Bank. However, the agreement ultimately failed to achieve a lasting peace. In 2005, Israel withdrew its presence from Gaza. However, it maintained very, very strong control over Gaza's borders, airspace, and sea access, effectively blockading the territory. In 2007, Israel responded by further tightening its blockade, restricting the movement of people and goods. Resultantly, the situation in Gaza has remained volatile, with periodic outbreaks of violence, humanitarian crises, and ongoing restrictions on movements and access to basic services. The conflict, the age-long conflict, has resulted in significant human suffering, infrastructure damage, and a stalled peace process. which is why Gaza is faced with humanitarian crises, blockades and restrictions, conflict and violence, humanitarian rights concerns, etc., etc. Gaza is faced with the perpetual genocide, the constant targeting of hospitals, health centers, and medical personnel is the most heinous form of genocide, a blatant disregard for the international community and humanitarian principles of laws. It falls within the framework of systematic Israeli policy to complete the destruction of all aspects of life in the Gaza Strip and transform it into a land unfit for human habitation, as a prelude to forcing citizens to emigrate by military force. It, of course, is the responsibility of UN Security Council and its failures to protect civilians impose an immediate end to the genocide, open crossings, allow sustained aid delivery, and begin implementing all forms of relief and instructions is their responsibility, which is not being fulfilled. The situation now is that the death toll from the Israeli genocide in Gaza has risen to 50,944 martyrs and over 116,000 wounded since October 7, 2023. 80% of Gaza Strip's buildings have been destroyed, including all universities and most schools and hospitals. The occupying forces have not allowed any food aid into Gaza for more than a month. As part of their plan to ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip, but the entire Muslim world particularly watches it happened like silent spectators. I was shaken to read the content of the last leaflet dropped by the Israeli forces for the people of Gaza. And it says to the people of Gaza, after the end of temporary ceasefire and before we start Trump's plan, which we will proceed with whether you like it or not, this is the last call for anyone who may share information with us in return for financial support. Consider this, that the world map will not change if Gaza's people will disappear. No one will notice you. No one will ask about you. Neither America nor Europeans care about you, Gaza. Even the Arab states, they are our allies. They provide us with money, oil, and arms. They only send you shrouds. The game will end soon. This is an absolute genocide. This is ethnic cleansing which Hitler had done to the Jews in Holocaust. And it's very, very ironic that the same people are doing, repeating a genocide or a Holocaust with people who were their neighbors, who were their brothers since ages. It is very, very disheartening to see the total apathy by the the civilized world, by the Muslim world, by the entire world, because nobody is coming to the rescue of the people of Gaza. They're being killed on a daily basis, the children, the women, the elderly, the young people, they're being left with no dreams. They've been shorn of dreams. This film, of course, is a beautiful breath of new, fresh air, because it features two protagonists, an Israeli concerned citizen, a human being, and his counterpart, the Palestinian counterpart. I'm sure when you see this film, you'll be moved by it no end. As for myself, we are trying to raise our voices by organizing a 7-day artist camp called Art for Gaza, which will start on the 30th of April and continue till the 7th of May. And we've invited artists of all disciplines from all over Pakistan to come and congregate in Islamabad, talk about the issue, raise awareness of the people, paint these images, paint their concerns, sing their concerns, write their concerns, enact them, and leave an impact in support of our Palestinian brothers. This artist camp will be live streamed daily, and the art produced through the process will be auctioned on day 7. I invite all of you to join our efforts and put whatever you can contribute to this workshop in order to, express some support to our Palestinian people. There was a time when I was a student in 1982, and something had happened in Palestine, and myself and another friend of mine, along with a few Palestinian students, we had planned to go to Palestine to fight alongside our brothers. But over here, we are not fighting. We are launching a peaceful struggle, an aesthetic struggle to raise consciousness, to raise concerns of people, and to become a voice. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed with the screening, we will have a group photo in front of the stage. I request the speakers, DG, Chairman, ISSI, and Team CAMIA to come forward.